Welcome to Timeless Audiobook, The God of the Woods, a novel by Liz Moore. The God of the Woods, a novel. Introduction. Liz Moore's The God of the Woods is a haunting and evocative novel that plunges readers into the eerie beauty of the Adirondack wilderness while exploring themes of trauma, healing, and the complex ties of family. At its core, the story is about loss and the search for redemption in a world where nature's power looms large. This novel expertly blends the mystical and the real, weaving a compelling tale that captures the fragile balance between past and present, human and nature, sanity and madness. It's a gripping journey that draws you deep into the woods and into the lives of characters grappling with grief, secrets, and the unexplainable. Summary: the story centers on Margaret Morse, a woman whose life is marked by a profound and traumatic loss. Years before the events of the novel, Margaret lost her young son under mysterious circumstances in the woods near their home in the Adirondacks. This tragedy haunts her every moment, and she remains tethered to that place in memory, struggling to find peace or understanding. The forest, both beautiful and menacing, serves as a powerful symbol throughout the novel, representing Margaret's grief and the darker forces at work beneath the surface of everyday life that Margaret's husband, Tom, tries to hold the family together, but the loss drives an unbridgeable wedge between them. Their once close-knit family begins to unravel as they each cope with pain in different ways. Tom's struggle to maintain control and his fading connection to Margaret underscore the theme of fractured relationships and the impact of grief on love. Into this tense atmosphere arrives a mysterious figure named Isaac, a man deeply connected to the wilderness and its ancient rhythms. Isaac is a loner who lives off the grid, deeply attuned to the woods and its secrets. His presence introduces an almost mythic element to the story. Some in the local community view him with suspicion, others with reverence, as though he might be a kind of guardian or god of the woods. Isaac's arrival complicates Margaret's already fragile emotional state and pushes the story toward a confrontation with the supernatural and psychological forces at play. As Margaret's interactions with Isaac grow, she begins to confront her pain in ways she never expected. Their relationship is complex, filled with tension and moments of profound connection. Isaac's knowledge of the forest and his unconventional lifestyle offer Margaret a glimpse of a different way of seeing the world, one that challenges her grief and her understanding of reality. Throughout the novel, Liz Moore masterfully shifts between past and present, revealing bits of Margaret's backstory and the events that led to her loss. This narrative structure adds layers of suspense and emotional depth, allowing the reader to piece together the puzzle of what truly happened in the woods. The community around Margaret and Tom also plays an important role in the novel. The Adirondack setting is more than just a backdrop. It is a living, breathing character with its own moods and mysteries. The locals have their own stories, superstitions, and history with the forest. The tension between civilization and wilderness, tradition and change, runs throughout the novel, creating an atmospheric richness that enhances the sense of unease. As the story progresses, the supernatural elements grow more pronounced. The woods seem to possess an almost otherworldly power, and the novel explores folklore and the idea of nature as both a protector and a destroyer. The God of the Woods is a metaphor that takes on real weight as the characters face their fears, and the forest's influence deepens. Margaret's journey toward healing is neither straightforward nor easy. She must face not only the external mysteries of the forest, but also her own internal demons. The novel delves deeply into themes of memory, guilt, and the possibility of forgiveness. Margaret's evolving relationship with Isaac and her attempts to reconnect with her husband and herself form the emotional heart of the story. Tom's perspective adds another layer to the narrative. His struggle with loss and his efforts to hold his family together highlight the different ways people experience grief. His eventual confrontations with Margaret and the past add tension and emotional complexity to the plot point. One of the novel's strengths is how Liz Moore portrays the natural world. The Adirondacks are rendered in vivid detail, from the towering trees to the whispering winds and the hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface. This lush setting creates an immersive experience, drawing readers into a world where beauty and menace coexist. The climax of the novel is both thrilling and deeply emotional. Margaret's confrontation with the truth about her son's disappearance forces her to reevaluate everything she thought she knew. The forest, which has been a place of mystery and pain, becomes a site of revelation and potential redemption. In the end, The God of the Woods is a meditation on the power of nature, the strength of the human spirit, and the enduring pain of loss. It's a story about how the past shapes us and the difficult path toward forgiveness and peace. Liz Moore's lyrical prose and deft storytelling make this novel a compelling and unforgettable read. Themes and analysis. One of the major themes in The God of the Woods is the relationship between humans and nature. The forest is portrayed as a living entity with its own will and power. It can nurture and protect, but it can also consume and destroy. This duality mirrors the emotional landscape of the characters, particularly Margaret. The woods symbolize the unknown, the unconscious, and the wildness inside all of us. Grief and trauma are central to the novel's emotional core. Margaret's loss is raw and palpable, and the novel doesn't shy away from exploring the many ways that grief can manifest. The tension between remembering and forgetting, holding on and letting go, drives much of the character development. Another important theme is the search for identity and belonging. Margaret's journey is as much about finding herself as it is about understanding what happened to her son. Isaac's presence introduces the idea of alternative ways of living and connecting with the world, challenging societal norms and offering a form of healing that is unconventional but profound. The novel also touches on the idea of community and isolation. Margaret and Tom's fractured relationship, Isaac's outsider status, and the close-knit Adirondack community all explore how people relate to one another in the face of tragedy and mystery. Liz Moore's writing style adds to the novel's atmosphere. Her descriptive language paints the woods in rich, sensory detail, and her characters are deeply human and believable. The pacing balances moments of quiet reflection with rising tension and suspense. Character portraits. Margaret Morse is the heart of the novel. She is a woman burdened by sorrow but determined to find answers and healing. Her complex emotions and evolving relationship with the forest and those around her make her a compelling protagonist. Tom Morse, her husband, is a man struggling to maintain control and connection amid loss. His character represents the challenges of grief on relationships and the difficulty of reconciling love with pain. Isaac is enigmatic, almost elemental. He embodies the mystery of the woods and the possibility of alternative ways to engage with the world. His interactions with Margaret are charged with tension, hope, and the possibility of transformation. The setting as a character, the Adirondack wilderness, is not just a backdrop, but a powerful force within the novel. The dense forests, remote trails, and hidden lakes create an immersive environment that shapes the mood and tone of the story. The woods are a place of beauty and danger, refuge and threat, embodying the dual nature